Hey guys, it's Mousie, and I just want to say a special thank you to Best Fiends for sponsoring this video. This is probably the most fun I've had making a video in quite a while, so I really hope you guys enjoy it, and be sure to check out the game Best Fiends, because it's absolutely adorable.
Hey, have you finished your homework yet? This homework was due hours ago. Why have you not done this?
Well, I kind of don't have a pencil, so I figured it was a good time to, like, evolve my fiends and, like, defeat slugs and...
Mousie, you have a pencil case. There's pencils in it. Where is your pencil case?
Well, it's a funny story. I lost it.
Lost it. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you lose it?
Well, I don't want to go into details.
Of course, yeah.
A long story.
Well, we have to come up with some way to fix this problem.
Alright, for this little project, you're going to need a few materials here and there and everywhere, but first things first, you're going to need to pick out which fiend you're going to base your pencil case off of. Now, if you don't know what Best Fiends is, it is a free, cute little puzzle game where you get all these little fiends to help you fight slugs in games, and you get to level them up and evolve them, and it's really cute. Look at all these, just all the characters that are in this game are adorable. My personal favorite is Quincy, the little ugly duckling spider. He's like this little yellow striped spider, and that's who I chose to base my pencil case off of for this project. But you guys can pick whichever character you like the best. It is your project, and you guys can be as creative and choose whoever you want. That's the cool thing about, you know, DIY projects. You get to do what you want to do. Moving on to the actual materials of the project, you're going to need a pattern that I have made. I'll put a download link directly to the pattern in the description, or you can make a half circle. Just make sure that it is well big enough, if that makes sense. Make sure it's big enough to hold your pencils in it, because obviously that's the point of this. You want to have a nice little cute little pencil case for school and stuffs. The second thing you'll need are some scissors, fabric for the inside of your fiend, the mouth. What color do you want the inside of the mouth to be? And then of course you're gonna need fabric for the main part of the body, the outside, so to speak. And then depending on what fiend you are making, you're gonna need some fabric for the details. For the details of Quincy, I'm using black felt for the pupils and the stripes on his back, and I'm using white felt for the teeth and his eyes. Now, you're going to want to decide on what you want to close your fiend with. There are multiple ways you can do this. You can use Velcro, buttons, snaps, drawstring. For my little Quincy fiend pencil case, I'm going to be using a zipper because that's what I had on hand. I also didn't know I had these snaps at the time, but you can use snaps as well if you want to. I do recommend, though, if you are going to be wanting to use a zipper, make sure you have a sewing machine on hand because it is actually really hard to sew zippers by hand. It's not impossible, but it's really hard to do. And speaking of which, if you are sewing this by hand, you're obviously going to need a needle and a thread. Be careful, guys. Needles are sharp and pointy. You're also going to want some pins. You're also going to want some glue. I'm using hot glue, and I would recommend using hot glue, but you could probably get away with using normal Elmer's glue. And then, of course, you're going to need some pencils or pens to help mark stuff with, and, of course, to put in your pencil case. Another little tip I want to add really quickly, if you have access to an iron, have your parents help you iron the fabric out. It'll make things a lot easier. I unfortunately broke my iron right as I went to make this project, so that's why the fabric's not sitting down straight, and it was very difficult to work with. So Pro tip from Mousie, iron your fabric if you can, and everything will go a lot smoother. All right, so the first thing you're obviously gonna wanna do is cut out your pattern. Voila. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and get our fabric out. You're gonna wanna do this over like 2 layers, so you end up with 2 pieces. Go ahead and pin your pattern to the fabric, and then go ahead and cut it out once you have it all pinned. Now, I did end up leaving a little extra room on top of the room that I put into the pattern, just to be extra sure that there was plenty of room for like the sewing allowance. And there you have it. Now you're gonna wanna do the same to the other fabric, your body fabric. In this case, it's yellow for Quincy. And then cut it out. And there you have it. You should have 2 inside pieces and 2 outside pieces. Okay, so go ahead and take one of those outside pieces, and we're gonna go ahead and start detailing the body stuff. So I'm gonna take the black felt and start with Quincy's back stripes. The easiest way I found to do this was to get the actual pattern and just go ahead and cut a big body piece out of the black fabric, or black felt, excuse me, and then cut stripes out of that. Now, of course, depending on what fiend you have, the details for the body will be a little bit different, but it's all up to you guys. You guys can make your fiend however you want your fiend to be. And there we go, we have his back stripes. Cute, right? So now what we're gonna wanna do next is go ahead and glue all of those little stripy stripes down. And there we have it. We have his back stripes all glued on and ready to set aside and dry a little bit. So now go ahead and get that other yellow piece, or your other body piece, and we're gonna go ahead and do his face detailing. So with the white felt, I'm gonna cut a bunch of circles because Quincy does have a lot of eyes. There we have it, the first eye. Because the eyes have it. I'm trying to think of puns here. Once you got it all cut out, I do recommend pinning them down and seeing if you like how they're placed before you glue anything, because felt does kind of like not lay flat no matter what you do, and this kind of helps you make sure that everything's placed the way you want it to. Once you do have everything placed where you want it, go ahead and start gluing all the eyes down. Alright, next up, if you have any scraps left over from the black felt from earlier, we're gonna go ahead and get his little pupils, the little dots in his eyes, so that he looks like he has actual eyes. Once you have all those, go ahead and glue them down. Oh, he's already looking so cute. Okay, and set those aside to dry for maybe like 15-20 minutes. I'd say it's probably a perfect time to go play more Best Fiends, if you know what I mean. Perfect time to level up, you know, your fiend of choice. All right, so once those are dry, go ahead and get that inner lining, or in the other case, the mouth, the inside fabric, and go ahead and line it up on top of the, the backside as you see. Okay, so Quincy does have a few teeth, so we're gonna go ahead and get those cut out right now. If your fiend has any mouth details that you want to make sure are included, now would be the time to get them cut out. Alright, so to attach the teeth, we're actually going to line it up with the edge of the fabric, and just to show you why this is going to be like that. So you want the teeth to pop out and also have a nice little hem, a little fold over, so you don't have those yucky fabric edges sticking out. So basically, to get that effect, like I said earlier, you're going to line the teeth up with the edge. Now you're going to want to lightly stitch these into place because they are small and they're probably going to move around when you go to sew everything else together later on. Alright, and here we go. When you fold over the edge there, the teeth will pop out all nice and cute. Now if you are using Velcro, snaps, buttons, any of those enclosures, you're going to want to go ahead and do those now and just fold over the hem and sew that down, and it'll look nice and pretty, and you want to do that for both sides. Now I myself am actually using a zipper, so it gets a little bit more complicated than that. With a zipper, it usually helps to just kind of lay it out and recognize which way the zipper is going to be facing, and then fold over the hem on top of that, and you'll kind of start to understand how the hem's going to attach to the zipper. You're going to end up flipping the zipper kind of with the teeth towards the way the teeth are pointing, so teeth to teeth, if that makes sense. You'll kind of start to see it. It doesn't help that my camera wasn't focusing properly because it was like really confused as to what was going on in frame, but hopefully it does make sense here. Alright, so you're gonna pin the zipper into place on the one side. And now the next thing you're going to want to do once you have that pinned in place is to go ahead and sew it, and once you have it sewn, you'll kind of start to see it once the zipper is folded back into place where it should be. It's how it should properly look, and there you go. Cute. It's not as hard as it looks. It's one of those things that I find easiest to learn when you kind of play with it with your hands. And then you want to do the same to the other side. Pin the zipper with the teeth pointing towards the body. And then once you have that sewn, right, so once you have the zipper sewn into place, I'm actually pinning the enclosure closed. The zipper is actually open, but I'm pinning it closed so it stays even. And then we're gonna pin all the way around the rest of the bag and sew that hem. Right where I was pointing there, I'm going to sew like a straight line through both sides. I've also trimmed the zipper so it's not big and messy. And of course, you probably want to trim up the hem as well, all that excess fabric. Make sure you're not cutting into the actual sewn part, because then you'll undo what you've done, but just to trim it up and make it look a little bit nicer. And then of course, turn it inside out. And there you have it. You have your little bag. You have your pencil case. your amazing, wonderful, best Fiends themed pencil bag. I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. I think he's really cute and quirky, and I just love him. There he goes, eating all my pencils and pens already. Now, I do want to say he does have other details to him, like antennas and legs, but I did find that when you try to attach like really thin felt detailing like that, it does tend to rip off quite easily. So just something to keep in mind. And now you are ready to get all of that homework done and not lose any of your pencils or pens like me. But of course, I can't get enough of this game and I can't stop playing. It's just too much fun.
Mousie.
Yikes, better get back to work. So there you have it, your very own Best Fiends themed pencil bag. I'm really happy with how Quincy turned out. I love all his little eyes. It was so much fun. And I want to say a very special thank you again to Best Fiends for sponsoring this video, because it's not often that I get a chance to do something like this. And it was so much fun to be able to do this. I love doing something different than what I normally do. So thank you again, Best Fiends. Be sure to go check out the game. I'm quite honestly addicted to this. I'm almost to level 50 and I'm on the Malaria No More quest as well. Be sure to let me know what level you guys are on and like what quests you guys have done, and I'd love to hear how far you've gotten in the game. And the game is free to play and you can play it offline. There's also a special gift today, August 6th, if you log in and play. So be sure to, go check that out and see what the special thing is. You might want to see it. But yep. Thank you again so much for watching. I want to say another thank you to Britt BB Paws for coming over and starring in the skit part of this. It was a lot of fun to do. And let me know if you guys want to see more DIY projects, and send me some pictures of your Best Fiends pencil pouches if you make them. Happy back to school, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I love you. Bye!